Boom. Sup, guys?
Hey.
We're not on watch. We're just going to have a conversation between these two gentlemen right here.
Yes, sir.
We're a little bit early to the face-off, so we're just going to talk about a classic battle that these two guys had. I wanted to do a watch, but we weren't able to get the setup correct in time, so we're just going to discuss things. B-Dot and Emerson Kennedy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah, guys, so I don't even know how to start this because I feel like you guys were just giving up gold before this even started.
Yeah, we were.
But yeah, you guys had a battle at Traffic 3, which is the last time that URL was in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And it was the first battle of the night.
Yes, sir.
Very powerful battle. The first battle of the night, like I was saying to you guys before, I feel like the crowd is like at their peak because they're ready for a battle, especially in like a city that doesn't have battles a lot.
Right.
They're just like ready to cheer for fucking like anything, you know?
Right.
You get the first punchline, they're just like, ah! For like an hour.
That's a fact.
So do you guys feel like you had that benefit of going first? Like, were you happy that your battle was the first in the night?
Yeah, definitely. Even if it's B-Dot's been his fans have been wanting to see him on URL for a long time.
Yeah.
For a long time. So when they announced his name, which Smack did me dirty, bro. Because they announced his name first.
Yeah.
You know, which he's a well more known name than me. So the crowd's going fucking nuts. Like, if B-Dot's first, who's next? Who's the surprise battle? Hollow?
Right.
Smack's like, the homie Emerson Kennedy. Everyone's like, oh, cool. But still, the energy was there. The energy was there still through both rounds.
Yeah, it was, for sure. I agree.
You had a battle in URL before this, though, right? I think.
I had, I had Jerry West and I had Cali Smooth, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Where was the Jerry West one at?
It's in New York. It's in Brooklyn.
Nice.
He could like walk to the venue. That's what I said in the battle. He literally could walk to the venue. It was so close.
EK got off on both those battles, especially the Kelly Smooth one. If y'all haven't seen that, like that's the one I had to like when I battle or when I prepare for my opponent. I only want to watch their best shit.
Yeah.
Because I want to expect that times 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I watched him versus Cali like every day. And was trying to, pick out whatever I saw that a potential flaw, which is not too many because he's an exceptional talent. So yeah, that battle right there, that's the shit that had me like, okay, I gotta try to come with it. Even we was talking about before this shit, like all the shit I was going through in the time period. I think it was like 28 days, pretty much a month. And I did 3 battles, which is
a fucking polar opposite of what you used
of what I'm used to doing.
I still remember trying to book you for a battle, and you're
I'm like,
no, I've Danny Myers in 5 months.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And I was like, holy shit, this fool takes it really serious.
Yeah, I take it too serious, man. Which is funny because I'm learning to stop taking battle rap so serious. I'm learning to be more confident in my talent and just like, man, line it up. You feel me? Whatever. I feel like I'm good enough. You know what I'm saying? So,
but that helped you. You were telling me that like when you took those battles like close together.
Yeah, it just helped my confidence. It just helped me like get over this idea that I need to. Take all this time to come up with all this deep shit. And I'm like, bro, it's on the temple, man. It's right here in the brain. Just jot it down or come up with it, whatever you need to do, and prepare for your battle. So taking those 3 guys, which are all, you got Verb, who's a legend. You got Loso, who's one of the up-and-coming dudes. And EK, I would argue, is probably the most slept-on talents. Like, I feel like he can go head-to-head with anyone. It's just... He's like me. He didn't, don't want to battle a lot or doesn't take it. He's a musician. He makes dope music, like like myself. So I can get with that. So yeah, man. It was just one of them things. I was telling him off camera that I feel like I should have gave him more of a conversation between me and him per se. Like instead of kind of acquiescing to battle rap's standards of punchlines and gun bars or whatever. But it was just one of them things I was going through. I was giving Verb and Loso so much, especially Loso. That was an unlimited round battle. I didn't know that beforehand, but I go into it like that anyways. You feel me? So I gave Loso so much thought-provoking deep shit that it was hard to like prepare for Loso like that and then do it again for EK.
Mentally taxing.
Mentally taxing, yeah. So, but all in all, man, the battle is still dope. Obviously, highly debatable, classic.
And sidebar, shout out to the battle rappers that have a battle like once a month, bro.
It's
I don't know how they do. There's battle rappers that are just, it's really their job, which respect that because I can never do that, bro.
You know why? This is a little jab, but I mean this in all honesty. It's because of the writing. It's because of because they're not saying too much.
Sure.
Oh, punchline.
Yeah.
If you don't really got nothing to say, me and you couldn't do that. We have too much to say.
No, I think I'm too precious with it.
Yeah.
I can't let a lot of like mediocre shit go in my brain. You know?
So you're saying if you're a puncher, you could like if you're just saying
it's just arbitrary shit. Like it could be low key like applicable to anybody, unless you're like name flipping or being a little personal. But
I mean, there's a reason why Wayne did 8 CDs in some of 2 years.
Right,
You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why Jay-Z does one every 3 or 4.
Right,
You know,
right.
there's just content is a little bit easier to come by, which is not a shot at how that style is.
It's still brilliant, but
you know, but it's a little bit easier to do muscle memory when you're writing that way, I think, which I can't write that. I wanted to say background on this battle is that I think when you're a little bit different of a battle rapper, which I think they like to label it in conscious. If you don't talk about guns, they label you conscious. I'm like the furthest thing from a conscious rapper, you know. But I don't gun line much, so I think they label it a conscious rapper. When you're like that, especially in a city like LA, you're bound to meet the other people like that.
Yeah.
Right. So you hear rumblings 3-4 years ago if B-Dot and EK have to fade.
Yeah. I heard it.
Put it in the atmosphere. And that usually gets legs.
I heard
You know,
it,
and so I'm like, oh, I got to check out B-Dot's battle. Checked out Strick, and I was like, damn, this dude's special.
Thank you,
different.
bro.
And
Appreciate
as a battle rapper, when I'm on the fringe of wanting to battle rap, the only thing that could really bring me into battle rap is a challenge for me.
Yeah.
And not saying, you know, gunline battle rappers wouldn't be a challenge, but you have to make me excited to see how I'm going to combat the way you write.
Right.
Yeah.
And so this battle, I think KG was trying to set it up for about 12 months at
Yeah.
least. And
Yeah.
I was like, no, I don't want to battle rap. And one day he finally hit me. He's like, B-Dot's with it. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
On URL?
That's how URL.
On URL?
Yeah, that's how it be happening. Because I was, you know, me, I go in and out of battle rap. I love and I hate this shit. I probably hate this shit more. I'm probably like 60, 40, 70, 30. Like, I hate this shit.
Yeah, fair,
But they had asked me, you feel me? They had asked me to battle EK way before that. I think it was the event that you ended up battling YK.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I turned that down just because I was in music mode. You feel me? But when it came back around this time, I was like, yo, for the West, you know, Traffic 3, like, nah, we got to do that.
Yeah.
And EK is like, he's exceptional talent. Like I said, one of the more slept on dudes in the culture. And if you want to battle, bro, like if you want to start taking this shit serious, he'll be like top tier. Like he'll fly through dudes.
Yeah.
Like I really feel bad for Saga tomorrow. Like I really, bro. You thought I was gonna do you dirty?
Yeah.
Nah.
So
fam.
what about the Saga? Like what piqued your interest about him? Because obviously B-Dot had something about him.
Exactly.
You want to come back
again? A rapper that was going against the grain, which
like I'm not that familiar with the Saga.
Sure.
I'm like I know the general things about him. Does he obviously doesn't cuss, right?
no, he does not.
So he doesn't use gun lines either.
He doesn't use gun lines for the most part.
Does he do that like
cheats it
imaginary
a little
gun
bit.
line
Yeah,
shit?
it's like he cheats
Okay.
a little bit
Or
and say,
cheats,
if I were to do gun lines, this is
I
what
would
I'd
do
say.
this.
Type of thing.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's like
yeah,
the
yeah.
ultimate cheat
Yeah.
code. You know, like, which is kind of acquiescent to battle rap fans, which works for him.
Yeah.
You know, because he still gets great reactions. So
Yeah.
that's what interested me about Saga. This was when I was out of battle rap. KG said, "Who does it have to be?" And this was about 2 years ago, before we got set up. Was that a year ago already? Fuck,
Yeah.
I'm old.
Damn.
Almost November.
Almost a year ago.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Sure was.
Before that, I gave him a list, and at the time, it was just Saga, B-Dot, and Jonai.
Ooh, Jonai, huh?
Exactly.
I had Jonai on my list too.
Exactly,
Oh,
because
shit.
those are the type
Yeah.
of writers
What?
I was like, yeah, man, he's cold, bro.
He's
Jonai's
sick.
cold as fuck.
When he was getting busy, he was one of my favorite. Not to sidetrack you.
No,
Go ahead.
really.
No, that's
really.
interesting though.
Yeah.
That's super interesting. Were you guys bummed when he retired?
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
man.
I was.
Is he like
I caught
retired or
him-
battle
I
rap?
caught him
He's
out.
I
Hollow
think
the
he's-
Don Arsenal
No, I think
retired.
he's done.
I caught him out on the track and all. I was like, damn, you didn't bite on that bait either. Like, all right. No, but he was dope at his peak for sure.
Yeah, his motivation near the end kind of like faltered.
Yeah.
I don't
you
blame
know,
him.
So.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, exactly.
That Diz battle.
Yeah, he got it too early.
That
probably.
Diz battle.
Yeah.
Let's keep it a buck. That Diz battle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
man.
he did go from like, oh, you got a good PG against Gutter, right? And
Yeah.
then just fucking went to battle.
Yeah,
He did.
man.
It's
It's the
like
cheat code.
Like, yeah, man, I played a good game in the court of the YMCA. I'm gonna go against Jordan right now.
No, but you know what? You know what though? The move that was wrong was the location. That's what I
Yeah,
think.
man.
In terms
In
of
Cali?
yeah, like in
Yeah,
terms of
man.
skill set, I mean,
If they would have had that
You know
in
what
the
I'm saying?
East, it might have been a little bit more
yeah,
fair, I
Yeah.
should say. I don't know if that's the right word.
Because
But
I mean,
more
in terms of
competitive.
skill set, I think he could potentially hang with Diz. I think Diz is more geared to rap longer per se.
Yeah.
But in just terms of pure like line for line, I thought he could hang with him. It's just he picked a bad location. Like
Yeah.
you gonna battle Diz with the grape homies behind him? It's like, come on, fam.
Active was like the MVP of that battle.
Yeah,
Like,
like-
laughing at him, pointing
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah,
You can't do that, man. But my fault. I think we sidetracked your whole shit.
No,
bro.
that's I was getting there. Which with the Saga, the only time I'm entertained and want to battle somebody is because they have to offer something different. Whether I believe in their beliefs or their beliefs are contrary to mine, at least it piques interest.
Right.
You know, I could pick a lot of battle rappers who have similar styles. It just doesn't interest me enough to spend. You know, if you break down how much you get paid for a battle, which I won't say, I don't think KG wants me to say that. if you break down how much you get paid for a battle, if you're Rum Nitty, he probably cranks out punchlines and probably writes in a week.
Yeah.
So he gets paid a lot per hour. I have to break mine down per hour.
Right.
It takes me 2 months for what I get paid.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, it's pretty taxing mentally and physically.
Real.
So it has to be something that really piques my interest. Saga did that, and I hope we give them. Here's the thing with B-Dot, I wanted a classic.
Yeah.
Because
we got that. I don't care what nobody
got
say.
that.
I felt
we
like
got that.
battle. Yeah.
He's the West Coast homie with Saga. There's a time where non-violent, but this East Coast West Coast thing is a little bit boiling, and I wanted to make a mark in this battle.
Right.
Nice. Yeah, man. That battle was fucking awesome. Like, what do you guys like you were talking about before, your third? You
Fuck
wish
that
it was
third.
more of a conversational piece?
Not the third. The third was meant for
You liked it. Okay.
Yeah.
Word.
What I was saying, I think I was kind of explaining to EK that the argument that a lot of people come with is that I wasn't addressing him. And I was saying that's what sucks about the culture, that they don't understand writing. Like, they don't understand how something gets to a point based off what it's springboarded off of. You know what I'm saying? So being the fact that I could create a PG conversation with EK because I felt like they did him wrong. I felt like after his PGs, he should have been out of here. It shouldn't have been no more PGs. So he gave me the framework or the base to build upon. And so I open up the realm, talking to EK about those decisions or whatever, which leads to me getting at the system.
Yeah.
So like I was telling him off camera, like without it being about him, the round kind of comes off differently and doesn't hit like an incline.
Yeah.
It'll just come right when the beat out is on you. I'm gonna just start barking on smack. Hey, you did this to me.
Yeah. If you're battling DNA, it doesn't sound the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Word,
it has to be
word.
someone that's in the process.
Right. So it had to make sense. And I don't even think if it was somebody else, I would have approached it the same way. Like, I wouldn't have been able to write and come up with the material that way. You know what I'm saying? So nah, I just feel like with the culture, man, sometimes they don't understand writers like us and creators like us, like how we want to have these conversations that are gonna last. It's not just a momentary thing. It's gonna last forever. Like the conversation, and then when you make classics, man, that's usually classics come out of. Sometimes you get your punchline classics. Don't get me wrong, but usually for me, my favorite classics is just the substance, the shit that's gonna last forever, the shit that we're gonna continue to talk about and debate and break down. You know, so
I'm not heavy on Twitter, but for months after that battle, it was heavy debate. B-Dot killed EK. He wasn't even talking to EK. EK killed B-Dot. And it died down after 2 or 3 months. I'm like, okay, I can return to social media now. And then the battle drops and it started all over again.
Right. That's a big fact.
But it's cool. I remember preparing for B-Dot. I always want to challenge myself. I remember I reverse engineered preparing it because I was watching battle rap. I'm like, what bothers me about battle rap? I want to kind of substitute all of that with my next battle. And so I didn't want to use the word like once in it.
Right.
I didn't want to say the word like at all.
Simile.
Blah, 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 like this. I don't want to say simile once. I do say it once if you watch the battle. So.
Shit.
I know, right? It was in the first round. I was like, oh, I already fucked up.
Out the gate, you're like, God, fuck.
But that wasn't doing that just to be more of a challenge. I already had a big challenge. It just forced a little bit more creativity when I was writing. So I didn't want to say the word like. I didn't want to have any gun lines in it. And I didn't want to do any Loaded Lux comparisons. Me and B-Dot were, before they announced, I don't know if you remember this, before they announced, we're kind of like in the pit right by you when we're preparing for the battle before on stage. And I looked at him. It's the first time me and him have ever talked. I looked at him. I said, you get all Lux flips today.
Yeah, I remember
And he kind of looks at me and just kind of like.
I remember that.
That's amazing. That's fucking amazing.
I remember that.
I find it only like cats from the East really do that a lot to you.
Yeah, it's just.
I don't feel like a lot of
too
people on the
simple.
West Coast like really call that out.
Because we don't give a fuck. That's their guy.
Yeah,
so it's like, yo, you copying. Word the mother, you copying our guy, son.
Dead
You feel me? That's they shit.
Dead
And
ass,
so,
you a copy.
You know what I'm saying? So they get offended. It's like a real West nigga just walked in the room. So that's like if somebody tried to take Gotti style. That's a West Coast thing. And so we'll be offended. Like, you can't take Gotti style. He's authentic to the West. Like, that's how they feel about Lux. So I get it. You feel me? I don't. At this point, I don't give a fuck.
I dare K Shine to start a battle by use a bitch. I'm like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, Sean.
You feel me? So yeah,
that ain't gonna work.
It's one of them things that I personally don't give a fuck at this juncture, because it's like you still got to stand in front of me and fight. Yeah. And I use this analogy a lot. It's like when you catching a fade with somebody. If somebody whoop your ass, you cannot get up and say, yeah, you whoop my ass, but you fight like such and such.
Yeah.
Like you got your ass like it don't even like you have to fight that fight. You cannot, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad, and like Danny, him, who else didn't mention Lux at all? Probably just West Coast dudes, I think.
Did Daylight mention Lux?
Nah, Daylight didn't mention shit because he ain't even fucking. You feel me?
What do you guys think about Dave's like new interviews that came out with Vlad? Do you guys see those?
I think he's genius.
Dude, those are so fucking crazy.
I think he's genius. I think to put yourself, because you know how the fucking internet works.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. He putting himself in conversation with the rest of those dudes who are the top viewed dudes on the internet.
Yeah.
Like that's smart shit.
And it's one thing for Daylight, if you were to say all those things and you battle rapped, okay.
Yeah.
But the type of writer he is, and says those things, you have to attribute it to genius.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not a dumb nigga
Don't
trying to get views, because he just writes to genius.
Yeah.
To, you know what I mean? You got to give him the
credit. The only backfire of it, I think, is that when he does come with his genius level shit, it just doesn't get appreciated anymore.
Sure.
Because it's like you already left a bad taste on our mouth. Pause. About the stupid shit. Yeah. So I think that's what happens. I think that's what happened in his Low Soul battle. I think that he was just so good. It's like we forget because we just, I don't know, maybe somebody was expecting an antic like a Jesus to come out or some dumb shit, and he was up there rapping, and I felt like it fell flat for some reason. I thought it was dope.
You guys feel like he's gonna do good against King Los?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
I think fuck with King Los?
I think he's dope.
That's my boy.
I think he's dope.
Yeah.
I'm so not familiar with him. Like I know that he's good at freestyling, right?
Yeah, excellent at freestyler. Makes great music. Worked with Diddy, worked with Bad Boy closely. Currently signed to Arista. Been in the game for a minute now. Yeah, that's the bro. I talk to him like once or twice a week. Very deep, conscious, woke brother, if you will.
Dope.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be dope. That's gonna be
so
really
you expect
dope.
like some material to come out in that's like kind of unorthodox, like your third against EK, like something that's like maybe a little more like separate, like lives alone.
Yeah, I think so. And I wonder if Los will risk that. I think that he's the type to not give a fuck to risk it. You know what I mean? Like I am. Like fuck it, I'm gonna risk. I don't care if the crowd don't like it or whatever.
Yeah.
I think he's one of those types as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. Well, hell yeah, guys. We should get Geechee and Henny in here as well.
Definitely.
No, don't leave. We'll just get them in here too. Hey Clayton, can you bring over like two of those like black chairs, those like metal ones?
Oh, chilling, man.
I'll scoot over.
What's going on?
Can I ask some questions while we're doing this?
Of course. Yeah.
So after the battle, we talked shortly.
So fly in a chair, Clayton. You can probably fly in two, so Henny can sit next to Beat Out as well.
And we spoke about as a black man dating a white woman.
Uh oh. Now listen, man. Man.
Hold on.
You gonna ask me this live?
Okay.
No,
What's
I mean,
up,
if
brother?
you can
How you
surmise it,
doing?
I know it's
Pleasure to meet
a
you
lot
too,
of layers
fam.
to it.
Yeah.
If you can, what's up, brother?
Nice to meet you. All right, let's see you in a bit. All right, just Henny can just come in there.
Yeah, we here, we live. It's Geechee.
Hey.
Check down tomorrow, man.
Check tomorrow. You feel me? I'm just walking in and walking out real quick. I'm here with the Henny. Can I hit it?
Yes.
HENNYMAN.
Let's go.
Nah, go ahead though.
You good?
That's not a
All right, Henny, he needs to get out.
that's not a ruin your day topic, but
No, you good actually. You good.
it's something that I always wanted to have the conversation with you with. In fact, we kind of discussed making a song about it.
Yeah.
And my idea for it was kind of similar to what Joyner Lucas did with the white guy and black guy.
I hate Joyner Lucas.
I know, bro.
I fucking hate
bro.
you, Joyner
I'm like,
Lucas.
his songs.
He is
I'm like,
the
who's
worst.
listening to this shit, bro? I'm like, who's
This
listening to
nigga
this?
I feel like Joyner Lucas just watched the news every day,
Yeah.
and then whatever fucking pop up. Oh, I'm about to make a little song about that.
Yeah.
Like what? Like come on.
Yeah.
Bro, like,
Yeah.
I just can't stand it. It's like not authentic. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I feel you, but that's the idea I wanted to have, because I wanted to have the real conversation with you and where you stood
Right.
on it. I mean, we can say things in battle rap,
Right.
but it's always for a little bit more for reaction. You know?
Yeah. No, I. Okay. Let me say this. I stand on that. If you are a part of what I'm a part of, right?
Sure.
So I'm not one to judge somebody's decisions and who, what love, how you fall in love with somebody. What I often find with black men is that the reason, and this may not be your case, but the reason that most black men do end up marrying white women, Hispanic women, whatever, not marrying their own kind of women, is because of these stigmas and all these bullshit, what the fuck word I'm looking for? Stereotypes. Thank you. That we put on the black woman in our society. Sure. So in my family, that's what I've seen.
Sure.
I have like a bunch of coon ass uncles. I can say that because they're not watching this. Like all my uncles is coon ass. You know what I'm saying? Like just uncles. Bible thumping Christian every Sunday. And they all got white wives or Hispanic wives, whatever. And love is love. Don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about what led you to that, because I don't believe. Let me say this too. Since I'm not religious, therefore I don't believe any relationship can be ordained and soulmates and all that bullshit. You like we're in the fucking internet age where you can fuck with somebody in the fucking UK if you want to, if you can holler at her and slide in her DMs, whatever. So I say that they're choices that are made based upon some type of preconceived notion. You know what I'm saying? Or some type of thought. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, oh my God, I met this woman and she was so great. I don't believe that shit. I believe that you sought someone out because of a specific reason.
Sure, understood.
And so what I find in a lot of black men that do that, not all of you guys or not all of us, but majority of us that do that, you'll ask them about a black woman and they'll say black women are bitchy and argumentative, and a lot of it comes from insecurity financially too. That's what we need to talk about, because black women are graduating from college at a way higher rate than black men, making way more money than black men. So you get a lot of black men that are insecure about that, and black women are already, we can say mouthy or whatever, but I feel like they have a right to be all the shit that they went through, but they're already mouthy and strong. Now they making more money than you. You gotta be a strong man to deal with that. Sure. My queen make way more money than me, but I'm strong enough to deal with that. So I say all that to say, love is love. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I just feel like the decisions or the thought process that goes into making those decisions are probably the things I have an issue with, because most of the times it's based on stereotypes.
Understood.
Yeah.
Look, I just turned Ruin Your Day into Vice News right now.
Yeah, I mean, we was gonna talk about that anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And it'll still be a dope record to make.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, between us. Definitely. So where I just rap what I just said. You feel me? Because it does, like, what the fuck did I tell you? You date a white girl, we don't white. Well, I forgot what I said. But in a battle, it's just aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And it's without context. Yeah. And I like to give context because I think people just view me, especially if you don't understand. Like me and Avo always got to deal with this because white fans think I have a problem with white people in general. So they're like, Avo, you're cool with B-Dot or B-Dot, you fuck with Avo? And I'm like, dog, this is, I have an issue with systemic oppression that comes from a system that we call racism, white supremacy, which a lot of white people benefit off of. What makes Avo dope and a lot of other white friends that I have dope is that they understand that. Yeah. And so when I come with my premise and my argument, it's not offensive to them because they understand I'm not attacking an individual. Like, I'm not gonna go down the street and see a white person and be like, fuck white people. Like, it's deeper and bigger than that. Like, I can't, that's idiotic. That goes back into what racism started out to be from a European perspective, just hating someone else because of the color of their skin.
Exactly.
How can I participate in the same hatred? I'm not talking about hatred. I'm talking about self-love and an understanding of systemic oppression, which I'm trying to overthrow or play a part in opening minds raise awareness so that we can potentially overthrow it as a community. And the only way I know how to is through my artistry. You feel me? Because shit, I feel like I owe it to my ancestors. What else am I supposed to rap about?
Exactly.
You feel me? I already rapped about the other shit. Now it's time to do this. But yeah.
I gotta put you on the hot seat.
Okay.
Who won the battle?
Between you two? Debatable.
Oh, here you go. Don't give me that bullshit.
Sorry. I will say that I think B-Dot's third is like the peak, and I think battling a lot of times about moments. Like, for example, Verb versus Hitman. Anybody that watches that battle, the only thing we all remember is the Hey Big Gerald. But fucking Hitman's two firsts were really good.
Yeah.
So it might have been kind of a 2-1 Hitman.
And that's that goes back to what I was saying off camera, just about moods and I don't give a fuck about wins and losses at this point in my career, because I come to understand that battle rap for these fans is just like a momentary thing, like how they feel at that moment. They watch the battle again and feel differently. Like shit switches. So I'm like, who cares about a win and loss? Did my opponent display his artistry at his full optimal level? Cool. Did I? Cool. Y'all appreciate that? Cool. You don't like me?
All I want to see is 6 fire rounds. And
you feel me?
That's all it really matters.
That's it.
To answer the question, I think you got the first round, second debatable. He clearly got the third.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. I agree. I said that to him off camera. I agree with that too.
And I was telling B-Dot before, this is not a popular opinion. And as a person that takes himself serious as a writer, I shouldn't think like this, but I had to be honest with myself. A lot of the time, whoever gets the bigger crowd reaction, sometimes I'm just like, they won. And I know a lot of writers are like, no, because you can't give credit to the common folk, and they don't understand battle rap writing and the nuances of it and how hard this line was. They don't understand it, and I give credit to that. But at the end of the day, we know this is entertainment.
Yeah.
And entertainment lives still on the internet afterwards, and you can still break it down as well. But sometimes I think it's so important to grab the crowd. It's really hard to make the crowd react.
Yeah. People don't understand that.
It's very, very hard to make the crowd react. And I'm like you, I don't really dissect 2-1, 3-0, whatever. But a lot of the times, if you watch that battle, B-Dot's crowd reactions, especially in the third, it kind of just climbed. It just kept climbing.
Peaking the whole
So when people ask me, I'm like, I don't really dissect battles like that. But if I have to speak your language and give you an answer, B-Dot had to win that battle.
I think your first round had a lot of crowd reaction too, but I feel like you came out with the element of surprise. We never really seen anybody talk to B-Dot the way that you talked to him in that first round, and we didn't even know it was going to be you. I'm sitting at home like, what the fuck is going on?
And that's a very interesting point, because this is what I tell people all the time. It's like and not to relate myself to a Mike Tyson or nothing like that, but this is an analogy that I thought of. Mike Tyson was always the one known for socking niggas out with haymakers. When we seen him get hit by Buster Douglas, it's a bigger deal. And not just you are an extreme talent. I'm saying like some of the other dudes that I have battled, when they get to supposedly talking to me, it's like, oh shit, somebody's talking to B-Dot. B-Dot is the one to do the talking. And so my opponent's shit gets overhyped, in my opinion. Not with you, but in other battles. In my opinion, it's like, just because he's saying something of some type of substance and you're not used to my opponent doing that, and it's to me, y'all making it like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Now imagine if I'm not who I am and I come out of nowhere and they're like, hey, Verb about to battle somebody we never heard of.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then I come out.
They go crazy.
And then it's like, oh, we didn't expect that. You know, it's just, with battle rap, bro, it's funny, man, because it really is an underdog sport.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, if you can convince the crowd, and I've been trying to trick the general consensus that I'm nowhere on Mike P's level, so I can have this, because I want to be an underdog for once. You feel me? Because I'm going into this battle, and the whole world is talking about B.3Zip.
Yeah.
And I think that's so unfair, because Mike P is going to be exceptional. He's going to probably be the best we've ever seen him. And because of that, I don't know, B-Dot.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got it no more. That was debatable.
Connor, Floyd.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He got that one uppercut.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
He
who
lasted
the
10
fuck
rounds.
yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I got to see the overspill in social media of me having a decent round against B-Dot. The B-Dot stands were like, B-Dot's human?
Yeah.
Like, we're like, damn, someone could talk to B-Dot, he bleeds.
Which is crazy, because I've bled a lot. You feel me? Like, a lot of niggas put blood in my mouth.
That was that stage. That was that moment we was waiting for. It was the perfect time.
Yeah.
And that's when it happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it would happen from Emerson Kennedy rather than Averb or somebody who we may have expected it from.
Because I definitely see what you're talking about. Averb did okay. I don't think he was his top 5 best performances against you.
Right.
But he started rapping a little bit more against B-Dot, and people were like, "Oh, Averb's back."
And you know what I don't, and you know what's funny about the Verb type of shit? Like, I don't get the credit. Like, shout out to Verb, but I don't get the credit. Like, from there on, I think Verb is he's killing shit. Yeah. And I'm like, I think before we battled, I think it was Sharon. Was it Sharon his last battle?
Yeah.
And it was like,
he was taking checks for a minute.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then versus me, like, me, in my personal opinion, people might think I'm saying it because it's me. I think that's the best Verb we've seen in him, even better than the twerk Verb, in my opinion, because he was born, he was rapping, and he had substance.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, can I get a little credit for that? What I bring out of my opponent, can I get some credit? Cortez,
you feel me? Vegan too, right?
Did you turn him vegan?
I don't think I turned
Verb's
him
vegan now?
Shout out
to Verb.
Shout out to Verb, vegan gang. But I don't think I turned him vegan. He was already vegan.
Verb is vegan? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was already vegan. The brother in shape.
There's a lot of battle rappers that's vegan.
Yeah, I'm vegetarian.
Like a meeting or something.
It's like a secret
Gonna do this shit together.
Shout out to Verb for turning vegan, man. That's how you talk to your salad, Verb.
But nah, man, seriously, I don't get that. You know, I don't get that credit. I believe, but it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. I'm expecting, like, we haven't heard any real substance from Mike ever in his career, like substance. You know what I'm saying? Like really saying something about something. Yeah. And I think we're gonna get that tomorrow, and it's gonna be because he battling me. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna think I'm crazy, but if Mike P was black, they'd be calling him the next Hollow.
He'd be exceptional. Yeah, I agree.
I think he's very similar to Hollow.
Yeah, I agree.
And able to really rap with you, in order to really punchline with you, then have these comical moments that breaks the tension and have it combine them all together.
Yeah.
People don't see it. I think it's just because of the race thing. When I look at Mike P, I'm like, that's a young Hollow to me.
Yeah, he's fire.
Like, he can put it all together.
I don't get it, bro. Like, even when back in the day when we had our little whatever, and you know, we supposedly didn't really like each other, I never could disrespect his talent, though. Yeah. Like, I never can be like, nigga, shut up, you trash. Like, I couldn't. Like, he's not trash. Like, he's fire, bro.
I remember in the Daylight battle, he said, fuck the West, and I was watching, I was like,
yeah.
Hold on. Hold on.
And that was around the time that we wasn't getting along too well. So I wanted to fade. I was just like, let me get that head up one time because you dissing the whole coast. Like, what? But nah, we good now. Shout out to Mike, man. Hopefully see him in here soon and shit.
What battles are you guys most excited to see besides obviously your own respective ones?
I probably, you know, I be zoning out. I go to the car. I be doing other shit. I don't like to watch too many battles when I'm at the event. I feel like it just drains the energy out of me. Yeah,
maybe after though. Like, which ones are you excited to see after the event?
Him and Saga. I'm gonna watch it, and I'm excited to watch it on cam too. I'm not too excited about other. I'm excited about Danny and Twerk, kind of, but I think Geechee's gonna.
This is
how crazy would it be though if Geechee got washed?
Bro, that's the thing.
Impossible.
I'm just putting it out there.
You know why it's impossible? No disrespect to you,
Math and Calico situation, dog. Nobody thought Math was gonna get fucking his ass kicked by Cal, you know?
Okay, let me say this.
But
no disrespect to Tech. Yeah, no disrespect to Tech, because I really like him as a personality, as a person and shit. I love watching Champion, but when you just don't have the rapping ability or the skill set, like at all, like by a long shot, I don't even think, like, you feel me?
I did a prediction blog where I said for Tech 9 to compete and make this even debatable, he's kind of going to have to take the older person.
I paved the way.
He has to take that approach. And if he do it and execute it right, he might not be the most lyrical, but he does have hella performance.
Plus, you can
if that crowd active, it might work, you know what I mean, in his favor. So.
Plus, you can become such an underdog that anything you say, people could feel it. If you're not expecting much from Tech tomorrow, and he gives you something decent, I think people are gonna go crazy for it. Just
I think like, he raised his expectations because the Jumps battle he was decent, so we not. Expecting
I haven't even seen that.
We're not expect. Well, I'm not expecting to be trash. When I say I'm sitting down as a fan. I look at all this shit, and Tech wasn't trash against Jumps. So I don't think he's gonna be.
He's pretty good.
I don't think he's gonna get 3-0, but I don't think he could come to Cali and just fucking. Beat the mayor of the city.
Were you guys fans of Tech, like back at, like when he battled like Rex and like Miles?
I just remember seeing those battles, but I don't remember ever being like, oh, like I fuck with Tech 9. No disrespect to you, Tech. I just never really I don't remember. So
when
being
you came into like knowing who he was, that was like kind of when he was at his sort of like decline.
Yeah,
like when
that's exactly how I
exactly. And it was kind of like
I guess so. Yeah,
word. That makes a lot of sense because like when I became a fan of him, he was battling Rex, and I was like, whoa, this guy's like really new. He's from Philly. He says like some really hard shit. And then his Miles battle, like I remember after that happened, people were just like, nobody can beat Tech 9. Nobody.
What year is this?
Invincible. 2010, I think.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it was the same event. Hitman battled Hollow at, and Math battled Calico at.
Okay. They're using microphones.
Yeah,
right. That's right.
That's a curse that they put on battle rappers. Every year, it's a new person that's unbeatable.
Yeah, for real.
And then that motherfucker get his ass whooped.
Yep. T-Rock has been like that for like forever on Euro.
Rock had the title for the longest.
Rocky
we had Goods, we had Clips, we had all, but everybody started to be inconsistent or just Goods can't stop battling period. So you know what I mean, but that top dog right now is Rock though.
For sure.
I'm most excited about Shaw battle. I did a whole joint what's it called, prediction blog.
Yeah.
And this not Shaw battle, but
our battles.
your battle versus Mike P.
Right.
Like that shit got me hyped. I had
for sure.
If they put a gun in my head, I said Mike P 2-1.
Yeah.
But that's because he is backed up in there. He is backed up.
But you know,
I just feel like he said, the expectations are way 3-0, beat out 3-0, beat out 3-0.
Yeah.
So we gonna see Mike P come out and be a Mike P that we really rarely get to see. You know what I mean? That one that we saw against Daylight or somebody, he's super motivated for this battle. This man ain't even been tweeting like that or nothing, so I know he want this battle.
And I think LA from traffic, I know the crowd's gonna be different, but they might like a little more showmanship that Mike P does, the random current event bars every once in a while and does a dance move and shit like that. I think LA's gonna go crazy for that.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think that this is the perfect place for it to happen without any biasness.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
I think a lot of people underestimate the West Coast crowd. I haven't been to New York yet, but I think it's the best crowd.
They show at the last traffic, they're showing love to everybody.
Yeah.
East Coast niggas, there's some people from Pontiac, like they're showing love for everybody.
I think they're gonna be battle of the year, man. I said that on my own blog. I'm saying it right here. I think they're gonna be battle
of the year.
That's how. I mean, I expect y'all to be battle of the year.
You gotta be rum and iron, bro. You gotta be rum versus iron.
I mean, it's too much substance and lyrical ability in this battle.
And both of them have to.
I'm not saying that because you sitting right here. My prediction blog gonna drop before the morning. You gonna see me say it on that joint. I think this could be battle
because both of them are gonna have a plan of attack. It's not just let's just try to out rap each other.
It's black versus white. It's
they're
this
gonna have
versus that.
angles,
It has so many.
It's black versus white.
You black and he white.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
You know what I mean? But hey, you gotta assume half the people in the crowd smart as a 5-year-old. They see a black man and a white man. It's lit. It's lit. You know what I mean?
I should have wrote differently then.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't even know.
You gotta peep to the 5-year-olds in the crowd, bro.
Approached it like that.
That 5-year-old.
And I said that, and I said that was one of the reasons why you might lose because we saw you do it with Strick and battle white people. So it's kind of like if you take that white approach again, it's gonna be like
it's such an insult to my intelligence when people even think like, man, if I had it like that, if I was balling, I would give any fan that can guess any angle I ever come with like $1,000. Like if you can guess what like I'm about to say, as much information that I be trying to accrue and delve into, if you're not doing the same thing, there's no way you can predict what the fuck B-Dot is gonna say.
Yeah.
Even on a superficial or light level of a race conversation.
Sure.
You cannot ever think that B-Dot is gonna be, you cracker, you motherfucker,
crack-ass
whitey,
cracker.
You white, and so you white, and that's why, because you white, and I'm black. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't believe that some people actually think that, like, even if they are to assume that it's gonna be some type of whatever, even similar to the Strict. I mean, see, the thing about me, it irks me because all like I was explaining with our battle, everything is based upon the opponent though.
Sure.
The Strict third round angle is not just because he was white, like I could have said that to any white battle rapper. He's a white battle rapper
trying to appease us,
glorifying and doing this whole thing about being in the prison system. You get what I'm saying?
I wasn't familiar with him, so.
Oh, yeah. So the event before that, I battled this cat named Fiji Osa. Strick battled this cat named Know It All. Me and Strick kind of stole the shows at that event because Strick whole shit was prison bars and shit. Like, what you know about being on the third tier and this happens. And like everybody, you know, all the real niggas was like, damn, white boy really like with the shit. Like, and so,
surprise.
Yeah, so my whole thing with that battle was like, okay, well, since you coming off like that, then I'm gonna have this conversation with you. Sure. It wasn't like I would battle Sharon or Ron or any other the popular white dudes talking about the prison industrial complex. Like for what? Like, you know what I mean? Like they don't even represent that. And so I think sometimes my shit be like going over people's heads because it's like it's based upon the opponent. My premises are always based upon the opponent and whatever they're projecting. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's fair. If you're a white dude and you're projecting the prison system or you're glorifying this to black people when we are in there at a disproportionate amount, I'm going to have that conversation with you then. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like, hey, I'm just, what's the other cat, the funny white dude? Carter Deems. I just crack jokes and I like cats. Like I'm not finna like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not about to like attack him about you're
like his Twitter name or something. I like cats.
Something like that. Yeah. I fuck with him though. He's funny, bro. He's a funny dude. So I just think that there's misconceptions about me. Like I'm just radical and unintelligent in my approaches and just angry. I'm about to just man, I'm just about to talk about slavery again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate, man. But we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see.
Who do you get? So you guys got Geechee obviously against Tech. What about Rum Briz?
Rum for sure. The punch rate. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. I don't know. I love Briz too. I love his energy. I just think that Rum is gonna score more points.
There's only a handful of people Rum can lose to, and Briz is not one of them for me.
Yeah.
You have to be more of a tactician to beat Rum.
Yeah.
And break down his style. I don't think Briz is able to do that. The aggression doesn't really work with Rum. I wouldn't even call Rum an aggressive battle rapper. The punches are just they hit so hard that it kind of makes up for the aggression. But you're gonna have to be a little bit more of a different writer than Briz is, I think. Low-key Briz is funny as fuck, bro. Some of the shit he says. So that might work in LA because some of the stuff he says is pretty funny. But no, I think you have to be a different type of writer to beat Rum.
Yeah, I agree.
It's gonna be close.
I agree.
Fire battle though. I think it's gonna be a surprise fight because everybody think they battled 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But both of their battles were lackluster. Yep. You know what I mean? By the time you get to the end, both of them are coming in to bark and get they lick back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If y'all battle rappers, y'all know if some shit like that happen, you like, man, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm coming out swinging.
Next time. Yeah.
And I think Briz is fire and is capable energy wise of combating Rum Nitty's bars. If he try to outbar him or some crazy shit like that, he gonna get killed. But if he come in there and play his game and just give him straight energy, it's a 2-1 debatable. You never know because both of them is masters at what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, and it also depends on how big is the venue.
It's sort of smaller.
Is it?
I think Cap.
I think that plays in the Rum Nitty favor.
Yeah,
word. Yeah, I mean that plays in the Rum Nitty favor.
Yeah, because at Gnome, he was saying some really dope shit, but it was kind of. Sort of.
I watched that.
It's like not that Briz can't do a small rum, but Rum Nitty in a big rum doesn't play over.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
he got chances.
I was watching.
You just reminded me of
some of this shit.
Briz versus Pass though.
Briz drug him around
in that small room.
Yeah.
Pass also slept on that full heavy.
Did he?
did.
Because he got dragged.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about now that you say that, Rum's ability in a small room, and now I'm thinking about what Briz did in that small room.
Yeah, be looking at a real motherfucking dog fight.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, what about Pass YK?
That's an interesting one, man. I prefer, personally, like rappers, like fluid rappers that, like myself, like Mike P, like Pass. So I'm a lean towards Pass, but YK be punching, man. It's a tough one. I say 2-1
YK is like
Pass.
the ultimate underdog, man.
He is. Every battle.
Yeah.
Every battle.
I got YK in a pretty clear win.
Let's go.
Cannon has this. A couple people have it, but they have punches. If we were to rate punches of 1 to 10, he'll give you a lot of 5s and 6s and 7s, but they're back to back to back to back. So you feel there's a build coming up, and he'll hit you with an 8 that feels like a 10.
Yeah.
And when Cannon does it, he builds so much stuff, and when you're watching, you're just like, holy shit. And Pass builds, but sometimes his punches aren't as heavy.
Yeah, he's not a puncher.
Cannon knows how to end the last punch. So
That's true.
I think in LA, I think that's gonna work in his favor.
Good point.
He's come to LA and cook a couple times.
Yeah, you gotta go with consistency. For me, Young Cannon is consistent, no matter the stage, no matter the city. You know what I mean? Pass, like you say, he slept on Briz. He done slept on a couple battles, and so I'm gonna go with consistency and say Young Cannon gonna win it. You know what I mean? Both of them talented, but one's more consistent than the other. And if I'm putting my money down, I'm going with the consistent person.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Word. Okay. Well, let's fucking wrap this shit up, guys. No mate. No kidding. Initiation tomorrow. Tune in live 3 p.m. or 3:30. Watch battle live. B-Dot versus Mike P. Emerson Kennedy versus the Saga. HENNYMAN of the fucking house.
Hey, you already know, man.
Hell yeah. Ben, just click that green button in the upper left-hand corner. And thank you guys for tuning in. Peace out.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Doing that.